While the world looks away, a quiet revolution burns. In Nepal's hills, Moldova's villages, Ukraine's battlefields, and Burundi's fields, women are rewriting the rules. They till the land, and raise futures, and stir pots with stories spicier than secrets. These aren't just survivors, they're the heartbeats of forgotten nations, ready to meet the women who turned abandonment into power and silence into strength. Step into their world. It's bold, blazing, and nothing like you imagined. Nepal. Nepal is a vibrant mountain nation nestled between India and China, where ancient temples rise beside bustling streets and prayer flags flutter in the crisp Himalayan air. It's the birthplace of Lord Buddha and the gateway to Everest, the highest mountain in the world. But behind the postcard, beauty lies a quieter, often overlooked story, one written by the hands of older single women. Since 2006, over 2.6 million Nepalis, mostly men, have gone abroad for work, particularly to Malaysia, the Gulf states, and South Korea. This mass migration has reshaped entire villages. In some places, nearly every adult male has left, leaving behind women to shoulder every responsibility, raising children, tending fields, and caring for the elderly. According to the national census, in rural areas, women now make up the majority of the elderly population. In some mountain villages, for every 100 older adults, 63 are women. Take Brahmia village, for example. With most men long gone, a quiet matriarchy has emerged. Women here lead rituals, make communal decisions, and manage day-to-day survival. Many never married or were widowed early. Some live alone. Others form informal widow sisterhoods, groups of women who live together, support each other emotionally, and share daily chores. These ama samuha, or mother circles, are redefining aging with dignity and strength. They gather in tea houses to sing folk songs, exchange remedies, and discuss community needs. Some run local savings cooperatives or weaving collectives. In a culture where aging is often hidden, these women are visible, vocal, and vital. While the men left seeking opportunity, these women stayed and built resilience in its place. Their lives may be solitary, but they are anything but powerless. Bangladesh. Bangladesh is a vibrant and resilient country in South Asia, known for its lush landscapes, deep cultural traditions, and hardworking people, yet behind its natural beauty lies a quieter story, one of aging women living alone, especially in rural areas. This growing trend stems from a mix of economic migration, hazardous labor conditions, and cultural expectations. Millions of Bangladeshi men take dangerous jobs in construction, shipbreaking, or transport, fields prone to fatal accidents. In 2024 alone, nearly 1,000 workers lost their lives, leaving behind wives, mothers, and sisters. Others migrate abroad, seeking jobs in the Middle East and/or Southeast Asia, often sending money home but rarely returning. Bangladesh's vulnerability to climate change also plays a role. Cyclones and floods regularly strike coastal areas, often killing or displacing male laborers who work outdoors. Meanwhile, many women, especially the elderly, stay behind, often isolated in flood-prone homes with minimal access to health care. Social norms further deepen this divide. While widowed or divorced men often remarry or live with extended family, older women are less likely to find new partners due to cultural stigma. As life expectancy for women increases, so does the number of elderly women living alone. In rural districts like Kurigram and Sunamganj, many survive on modest government stipends or their children's remittances. Still, these women display incredible strength. They create informal networks, cook together, and share daily burdens. Their solidarity is a quiet but powerful force. proof of endurance in a country constantly facing adversity. So next time you complain about doing the dishes alone, remember, these Bangladeshi grandmas are running entire households solo and still have time to gossip with neighbors. Respect. Laos. Tucked in the heart of Southeast Asia, Laos is a landlocked nation of misty mountains, Buddhist temples, and river valleys that whisper of ancient empires. But beyond its serene exterior lies one of the world's most heavily bombed countries per capita, a legacy of the U.S. secret war during the Vietnam era. Millions of unexploded ordnances, UXOs, still dot the countryside, making farming and daily life perilous in rural areas. This hidden war and its aftermath have shaped gender imbalances that persist to this day. Many Lao men died in conflict, migrated to Thailand for work, or were maimed by leftover bombs. Today, older women significantly outnumber men in rural provinces like Savannakhet and Sieng Koang. With younger generations leaving for cities or overseas, the elderly, especially women, are often left to fend for themselves. These women tend rice paddies alone, care for grandchildren, and maintain Buddhist rituals at local temples. With little access to pensions or health care, they survive through subsistence farming and community sharing. Remarriage is rare, and cultural norms often assign caregiving responsibilities solely to women. Despite these challenges, Lao grandmothers, known as Yai, are respected figures in village life. They lead ceremonies, pass down oral histories, and act as herbal healers. Some organize UXO awareness campaigns to protect younger villagers. In the quiet of the countryside, their wisdom endures, and their mites remind the world of a conflict few remember, but which they live with every day. Armenia. Imagine wandering through ancient stone monasteries, sipping from cool mountain springs, and savoring hearty stews cooked just like Grandma made them. Welcome to Armenia, a land where the past lives on in every village and valley. Nestled in the South Caucasus, Armenia may be small in size, but it holds a massive place in history as the first country to officially adopt Christianity back in 301 AD. But Armenia's history is also marked by profound tragedy. The Armenian Genocide of 1915, which took the lives of up to 1.5 million people, mostly men, left a lasting demographic and emotional scar. It tore families apart, decimated communities, and launched a global diaspora that continues to shape Armenian identity. Today, this legacy echoes in the lives of many older Armenian women, particularly in the countryside. Widowed or never married, many spent their adult years shouldering responsibility alone. Since the collapse of the Soviet Union, economic instability and war have driven waves of male emigration to countries like Russia. While some men send money back, few return, leaving women behind to manage homes, fields, and families. In some rural regions, elderly women outnumber men nearly 3-to-1. With remarriage rare due to tradition and stigma, many spend decades alone, yet never idle. These women are keepers of Armenian heritage, passing down songs, prayers, recipes, and memories. They are the ones tending to churches, preparing feasts, and anchoring communities with quiet resilience. Now, a new chapter is emerging. Local NGOs and grassroots efforts are creating spaces for these women to thrive, offering classes, social circles, and heritage projects that celebrate their strength and ensure they remain seen, valued, and empowered in modern Armenia. Haiti. Haiti is a land of mountains, music, and resilience, an island nation in the Caribbean with a proud and defiant history. In 1804, it became the world's first independent Black republic, emerging from a brutal slave revolt that shook the colonial world. The legacy of that revolution lives on in Haiti's fierce spirit. But so do the scars of centuries of exploitation, political instability, and natural disasters. Modern Haiti faces massive challenges. Decades of political corruption, foreign interference, and economic collapse have pushed the country to the brink. Add to that the devastation of repeated earthquakes, like the catastrophic quake in 2010 and another in 2021, and life becomes a constant struggle. Many Haitian men migrate to the Dominican Republic, the U.S., or French-speaking countries in search of work, often in construction or informal sectors that are both poorly paid and dangerous. Others are caught in the crossfire of gang violence or natural catastrophes. In recent months, armed gangs have seized control of large parts of Port-au-Prince, Haiti's capital. Over 60,000 people have fled their homes. The international airport is shut down. Over 1 million Haitians are now displaced, triple the number from last year. And humanitarian aid is barely reaching those in need. Amid this turmoil, older women are often left alone, either because their husbands have died, migrated, or gone missing. In many neighborhoods, they become the de facto heads of extended households. They raise grandchildren whose parents are absent, manage homes without running water or electricity, and create a sense of order in the midst of chaos. These women are the silent backbone of Haitian society. Many of them also carry forward cultural traditions, singing Vodou prayers, weaving palm crafts, preparing traditional dishes like diri ak piwa, rice and beans, and sharing folk stories under candlelight when the power goes out. Even as the state fails, these women step in, not just as caretakers, but as community leaders, healers, and guardians of identity. In Haiti, strength often wears the face of an aging grandmother. Ukraine. Ukraine, a country of sweeping plains, golden sunflower fields, and a resilient people, is today defined by courage and conflict. Since 2014, and especially after Russia's full-scale invasion in 2022, millions of Ukrainian men have been conscripted, killed, or fled the country. The war has profoundly altered the demographic makeup of rural towns and villages, where elderly women now often live alone or in all-female households. In eastern regions like Donbas and Kharkiv, entire communities have been emptied of working-age men. Many who left for the front lines never returned. Others relocated to Western Europe, leaving aging mothers, wives, or sisters behind to care for abandoned homes and family graves. According to recent UNHCR data, nearly 60% of internally displaced persons are women, and among the elderly, women now outnumber men by more than 2 to 1. In villages near the front, older women tend small gardens, gather firewood, and raise grandchildren while air raid sirens wail in the background. They run informal food kitchens, host evacuees, and keep village schools running with almost no state support. Their resilience is unmatched. Despite the danger, many refuse to leave, clinging to their wont, their history, and the belief that they are the last thread holding communities together. NGOs like HelpAge and local church groups offer aid, companionship, and mobile medical services. But much of the burden remains on these women's shoulders. As Ukraine fights for survival, it's the grandmothers in headscarves, not soldiers in uniform, who are quietly holding the line at home. Honestly, forget superheroes in capes. Have you seen a Ukrainian grandma with a shovel in a soup pot? That's the real Avengers team right there. Georgia. Georgia is a country where majestic mountains kiss the clouds, ancient wine flows from earthenware jars, and strangers are welcomed like family. From the old-world charm of Tbilisi to the snow-capped towers of Svaneti, Georgia captivates with its beauty. But beyond the scenic vistas lies a quieter, more sobering reality. In many rural regions, older women are growing old alone, This stems from a mix of economic necessity, demographic imbalance, and cultural tradition. With over 40% of the population living on less than $7 a day, especially in isolated mountain areas, many young Georgian men are forced to migrate abroad in search of work. They head to Russia, Turkey, or Europe, often disappearing into informal or undocumented labor markets. Some send money home, others never return or even call. Meanwhile, women, who on average outlive men by 7 years, remain behind. In places like Tusheti, Upper Adjara, or Samagrelo, elderly women now outnumber men in striking numbers. These women often live alone in stone cottages, with wood-burning stoves, managing vineyards, tending livestock, and raising grandchildren left in their care. But they are more than caretakers. They are the soul of their communities. These women preserve Georgia's polyphonic songs, traditional dances, culinary heritage, and religious customs. Many run guest houses, lead artisan cooperatives, and teach local crafts. Despite harsh winters and isolation, their spirit endures. In recent years, Georgian NGOs and diaspora communities have begun recognizing their role, not just as survivors, but as cultural protectors. Microgrants, off-grid energy solutions, and social programs now aim to empower these women, ensuring that Georgia's ancient traditions are not only remembered, but lived. Moldova. Nestled between Romania and Ukraine, Moldova is a charming, slow-paced country where life revolves around tradition, community, and wine. With rolling vineyards, painted monasteries, and folk music echoing through the hills, it's a place rich in heritage. But behind the serenity lies a demographic crisis quietly reshaping rural life, especially for older women. Poverty and limited job opportunities have pushed hundreds of thousands of Moldovan men to migrate for work. In fact, 64% of Moldova's labor migrants are men, most heading to Russia, Italy, or other parts of Europe. Many leave for years at a time, some never return, leaving behind mothers, wives, and daughters to manage households and farmland alone. As a result, Moldova now has one of the most pronounced gender imbalances among older adults in Eastern Europe. Women over 65 outnumber men nearly 2 to 1. On average, Moldovan women live 8.7 years longer than men. In rural areas like Orhei or Kalarash, it's not uncommon to find entire villages where the elderly population is almost entirely female. These women aren't just surviving, they're leading. They manage vineyards, bake bread in communal ovens, sell homemade preserves in local markets, and even sit on village councils. Many are also raising grandchildren whose parents work abroad, creating a multi-generational household led entirely by women. Yet life is not easy. Moldova has one of the lowest retirement benefits in Europe, and social services are thin in rural zones. Still, these women are resilient. They keep traditions alive, embroidering folk costumes, singing doinas, traditional ballads, and maintaining religious customs. In recent years, international aid groups have begun offering programs to support Moldova's aging female population, from mobile medical units to digital literacy classes and cooperative farming projects. These older women, often overlooked by policy and politics, have quietly become the backbone of Moldova's rural identity. Guardians of the past and unsung architects of daily survival. Ethiopia. Ethiopia, one of the world's most ancient civilizations and the only African country never colonized, stands tall with a legacy of empires, rock-hewn churches, and orthodox traditions that have endured for centuries. From the highlands of Lalibela to the lakeside city of Bahir Dar, the country radiates history and faith. Yet behind this proud heritage lies a quieter reality. Many older women live alone, shaped by a mix of cultural norms, early marriage, and social upheaval. child marriage is a key factor. Nearly 40% of Ethiopian women are married before the age of 18, and a significant number marry men much older than themselves. This leads to early widowhood, often by middle age, especially in rural areas where remarriage for women is rare and socially discouraged. In places like Amhara and Oromia, where bride kidnapping and forced marriage still persist, many women find themselves isolated, with little autonomy or opportunity to remarry. Add to this the pressures of political conflict, displacement, and poor health care, factors that disproportionately affect men, and the demographic imbalance becomes more pronounced. War in regions like Tigray has fractured families, leaving older women behind to care for the lad and for orphaned grandchildren. Yet these women are far from passive. They are farmers, market vendors, spiritual leaders, and the keepers of Ethiopia's oral traditions. Clad in white shawls, they rise before dawn to prepare coffee, bake injera, and nurture community life. Through IDEER and IKUB, local support networks, they find solidarity, economic support, and dignity. Though many live in solitude, older Ethiopian women are far from invisible. They are the living memory of a nation, anchoring tradition with quiet strength and fierce resilience. Democratic Republic of the Congo, DRC. The Democratic Republic of the Congo, DRC, is a land of immense natural beauty and unimaginable resource wealth. Its rainforests teem with biodiversity, and its soil holds some of the world's richest deposits of cobalt, diamonds, gold, and rare earth minerals. But beneath the surface lies a painful reality. Decades of conflict, disease, and displacement have left millions struggling to survive. And it is older women who often bear the heaviest burden. In the last 5 years alone, over 3 million Congolese have died from violence, hunger, and preventable illnesses. More than 7 million are currently displaced, with eastern provinces like North Kivu and Ituri at the epicenter of chaos. Many men are either killed, conscripted, or forced to flee, leaving behind villages of women, children, and the elderly. Men working in hazardous industries such as mining, logging, and construction face heightened exposure to malaria, tuberculosis, and HIV/AIDS, illnesses that often go untreated. As a result, life expectancy for men is dropping, while women, especially older ones, now outnumber men across many rural regions. These women are not just surviving, they are leading. In war-torn towns and isolated villages, older women till the soil, raise grandchildren, organize markets, and mediate local disputes. Some are survivors of sexual violence, yet they rise to become pillars of peace and stability. From grassroots kitchens to women's shelters and healing circles, they have become the backbone of recovery. Groups like Sofapadi and Mama Jane's Network are now amplifying their voices, offering legal aid, counseling, and leadership training. These women may live without partners, but they do not live without purpose. In the ashes of war, they are rebuilding community. One seed, one story, one act of courage at a time. Afghanistan. Afghanistan, often referred to as the heart of Asia, is a land of breathtaking mountain landscapes, ancient citadels, and poetic traditions stretching back thousands of years. But beneath its rugged beauty lies the weight of decades of war and hardship, conditions that have left older women among the most vulnerable. Over 40 years of conflict have claimed the lives of millions, while countless others, mostly men, have fled to countries like Iran and Pakistan, never to return. As a result, in remote provinces such as Badakhshan, Ghor, and Uruzgan, women now make up as much as 70% of the elderly population. Many are widows or have never married, left to survive without male guardians in a society that tightly restricts their autonomy. Since the Taliban's return in 2021, the challenges have grown even more severe. Women are barred from attending school beyond the 6th grade, banned from universities, and excluded from most jobs. For older women who once worked as teachers, nurses, or traders, this has meant a return to the shadows, cut off from both economic independence and social dignity. And yet, these women persist. In hidden corners of Afghanistan, they sew, bake, farm, and teach in secret. Some have quietly transformed their homes into informal classrooms for girls, while others continue to serve as herbalists, midwives, and storytellers. Their wisdom sustains villages where schools and clinics have vanished. Groups like Rayoe and a few brave local NGOs offer discreet lifelines: food, medicine, emotional support. But the risks are immense. Still, these older women remain the cultural backbone of a shattered nation. Even silenced in public, they speak through action, memory, and love, carrying Afghanistan's soul in every whispered prayer and lullaby. Burundi. Can you imagine surviving on just 50 cents a day? In Burundi, the world's poorest country, with a GDP per capita of only $193, that's the harsh reality for millions. Tucked between Rwanda, Tanzania, and Lake Tanganyika, Burundi is a land of scenic hills and deep cultural heritage. But behind its natural charm lies a staggering level of poverty and struggle. Roughly 70% of Burundians live below the poverty line. More than half of children under 5 suffer from malnutrition. Just 10% of the population has electricity. Most families rely on overworked farmland, wooden hoes, and the mercy of seasonal rain. Years of deforestation and land degradation have made farming even riskier. Burundi's history is marked by turmoil. From 1993 to 2005, a brutal civil war left hundreds of thousands dead and displaced over 1 million. Schools, hospitals, and basic infrastructure were destroyed or never built. Today, over 40% of the population lacks clean water, and disease from poor sanitation is rampant. The toll is especially harsh on older women. With so many men lost to war, illness, or migration, many women never marry or become widows early. In rural areas, they are left to raise grandchildren, farm, and haul water across long distances, without pensions, healthcare, or social safety nets. Still, these women endure. In provinces like Gitega or Kirundo, they form tight-knit support circles, sharing meager harvests, traditions, and strength. They wake before dawn, cook over open flames, and pass down songs and stories that keep Burundi's spirit alive. In a nation often forgotten by the world, it is these women, unseen but unwavering, who carry the country forward. And there you have it. A world where silence didn't break these women, it forged them. From the Himalayas to the Caribbean, they rise. Not as victims, but as quiet revolutionaries. Their stories don't ask for sympathy. They demand respect. Leave a comment, hit like, and subscribe for more untold stories from the corners of the world.